Merry Meet is Rowan Ravenwolf again. Today, Sunday, September 29th, and it is Occult Q&A with Rowan Ravenwolf. So I don't have a special guest this week. Um, a lot of times I have Classy Cassie come on, and I may reach out to some other people in the community if they want to come on and discuss topics and questions that are submitted. So first, I want to let everybody know that has been affected severely by the hurricane. There is flooding, like in many, many states. There are a lot of people that are without power. I have lit a candle for healing energy and that things are restored because cooking is pretty hard when you don't have any power. So, health needs are very important. So please stay safe. And those of you that we've got really nice cool weather and wind, which I like going on right now in Illinois that's come from the hurricane. Um, so we're unfortunately here we're getting the remnants of it, but it's not so bad. Well, we've had some pretty bad winds. Not quite I don't think they've been tornado-ish, but that is beside the point. Those in the bad infected areas, please stay safe. Know that a lot of people in the witchcraft community are sending you blessings and spells for healing energy and that things are restored to a more normal state for you. All right. So today's question, actually, I've had quite a few people ask it, and I thought, well, when is going to be a good time to bring this up? And so I thought this week would be really good. So the question that has been asked, and it's been asked by a couple different people, is how do you come into witchcraft when you have left a Christian religion? So I have had this asked by several different people. I actually was in a cult, and one of the books that I've done a book review on, I wanted to learn more from the witch because she had been in a cult too. So my Christian cult that I was in was Mormonism, or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I know a lot of people that have been in different types of Christian sects have had parents that have been very strict with their upbringing and very strict with following the church's rules. We'll just leave it at that. So it is kind of hard because when you first leave, and I left and was exploring because I wanted something more spiritual for myself. When you first leave, it is really hard because you have probably been pounded with guilt. And guilt is a very big sign that you're in a cult. Oh, if you do this, you can't go to heaven. And then you feel guilty. And sometimes your parents may make their rules very strict. Mine were kind of um, I don't know, they got really loosey-goosey with the youngest. I was the oldest, so my rules were a lot stricter than others. But um I couldn't get my second ear pierced. When I got my tattoos, you would have thought that I killed somebody. It was oh my gosh. So there are certain things that you can't do in some of these religions. But when you are coming onto a spiritual path, so what is really nice about becoming pagan or a witch or anything under the occult umbrella, so a Wiccan, anything again under the occult umbrella, is that this is a spiritual path. So there may be some rules associated with it, like when we are looking at a lot of the Wiccan groups like Gardnerian Wicca, there are going to be specific rules in the coven that do have to be followed, like your education and your learning process and how you worship. But you're not going to find that, oh, you're going to go to hell if you don't do it this way. You're not going to find that. As a matter of fact, what is nice is there is no heaven and hell. We all go to the same place. We have multiple deities that we can worship if we want to. So it is going to be different, and it is getting your mindset out. This is where a lot of healing comes, because really, if you have left a very strict religious group or a cult, you have literally been brainwashed. and you're going to believe in their process. So, for example, I'm just going to use the Mormon church. They believe that there is heaven, but heaven has three groups. There's the celestial, telestial, and triestral, or something like that, right? This is how I've been gone long enough. I can't remember exactly. And then there's hell. Well, women cannot go to celestial, which is the highest kingdom, unless you are married to a priesthood holder and sealed in their temple. All right. And if you have children and your spouse or whoever you had the children with is not a priesthood holder and you're not sealed to them in the temple, you won't be sealed to your children. So God's going to take your children away, basically, is what it is. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some Mormons that will find this. They're going to try to argue with me on this. This was a very big sticking point for me, among other things. But I was like, why? Like, your brain is trained that you need to follow these specific rules, like no caffeine, no hot drinks, no alcohol, no tobacco, no body piercings, no tattoos. Like, there's a lot of that type of really strict rules. When you violate this, it drops you down. So you can't be in heaven. And then there are certain things like having premarital sex or adulterous affairs that are just as bad as murder. So it is cult brainwashing. And so you get into this and you're like, how do you leave this? You've got other cults like Scientology and Jehovah's Witnesses, where it is so bad that, like, if you leave, the group disassociates and doesn't speak to you anymore. Thank goodness, like, my family members that I love, they haven't disassociated from me from the Mormon church. But but maybe that's because it's a different, I don't know. I mean, I do know some people who have left the Mormon church where their family doesn't speak to them. So maybe I'm just in a different situation. So when that type of stuff happens, you have been completely brainwashed. You are completely in a cult, and you have to retrain your brain to think. So for me, it was easy to accept working with different deities because I had always worked with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And I'd worked with the Bible and the Book of Mormon. It was easy to get rid of the Bible and the Book of Mormon. They were nice to just say goodbye to. And I found, for me personally, I took on working with a lot of goddesses and connecting with a lot of goddesses. And then I added gods. I felt really off balance having worked with three male entities. So there are Christian witches that will probably work with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. They may work with Jesus. They may work with the archangels. So that's the cool thing about the occult, is you can work with whichever spirits and deities you want to, and whatever angels you want to, if you want to. So there's no set rules. It is nice to break away from that. The biggest thing I found breaking away was the fact that it was extremely healing for me. I was able to connect with Mother Nature. I was able to connect with the earth, which I'd always had a big, deep connection with. I was like that kid that was like always wanting to go camping. I always wanted to be outside. Even as an adult, I always wanted to be outside. My kids have pictures of me hugging trees. I have pictures of me actually hugging trees from from when I was a teenager on. So I was always wanting to be outside, barefoot in the dirt, in nature. So that part was really easy. The hard part was getting your brain to switch and be like, I literally can be my authentic self. I don't have to dress a certain way. I can go get as many tattoos as I want. That started to become, hey, this is my body. This is my choice. This is my life. This is my choice. It is your choice. So that is the nice thing about switching. So if you are new and you have left a Christian religion, you can pick if you want to work with a deity or if you don't. You can pick if you want to be a pagan witch or a pagan and not practice witchcraft, or if you want to be a druid, if you want to be a Satanist. You can pick what you want to do. You can pick what resonates with you, and you can follow that. We have within ourselves our moral compasses and our ethics. We're not going to go out and murder people. Most people in the occult community want good things for everybody around us. We want everyone to be successful. We want everybody to be happy. So I guess in a nutshell, like this is a long topic. And I'm sure it's bringing up more questions. And if it is, put your questions below, and I'll like discuss them in another occult question Q&A. I found comfort in spirituality. I have never been so spiritual before. So I would literally sit. The Mormon Church does this thing where they call it fast and testimony meeting, where you testify that, oh, I feel so close to the spirit and I'm spiritual and blah, 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 blah. And I always felt so fake. Like I didn't feel like I could go up there. And I didn't really believe in a lot of the stuff that they were teaching. So I felt fake, and I'm like, this isn't real to me. Now I feel real. I can honestly say when I am walking barefoot in nature, I feel this connection with the cosmos, with the earth. When I lay on the grass and stare at the full moon, this beautiful connection of love and light comes through. So find what resonates with you in witchcraft and take your baby steps. You will probably find a lot. There are so many amazing people in our community out there. I'm just going to throw out like quite a few names, but I love Tempest. Her books are amazing. Devin Hunter, Matt Auron, Christopher Penczak. Actually, Christopher Penczak is one of the high priests of the Temple of Witchcraft. That is a really wonderful group. I've not been a part of, I've taken part in their Temple Hearth. They have Temple Fest once a year. Fabulous group. Christian Day with Hex Fest. I mean, there are so many amazing people out there. Gemma Gary, Corinne Boyer, Latifah Latham Jones. I mean, there are so many amazing witches in our community and pagans in our community out there that are trying to save Mother Earth, that are connecting with the spirits of place, with the spirits of the earth, with the deities. You will find a teacher or multiple teachers and find who resonates with you. Find what practice resonates with you. You may find that crystal healing resonates. You may find that Reiki resonates. Find what resonates with you and go with it. And that's the really amazing thing, is that we can go take a class and there may be 10 things you learned from it. And you may be like, I'm going to incorporate 3 of these things in my practice, and the other 7, I'm just going to kind of keep my notes. I might look at them in the future. I'm not going to use them now. Or you might go to a workshop and go, oh my gosh, everything this teacher taught resonated with me. You may go to something and go, okay, well, I learned this from so-and-so too, but I do like their energy. So that is the really cool thing about this pathway, is that it is specifically designed for you, because you get to pick and choose what resonates, and you get to find your path. So you may find that you are a sea witch and you may resonate with the ocean, and you may, during a full moon, walk into the ocean and embrace that. You may find that you're more of an earth witch and you need to have your feet dirty and muddy. You may find that you want to be in the wind. Like I'm just saying that because like the wind is kicking up today. And it's very beautiful. I love this feeling. I think I needed some wind. Last week I needed rain while I was dancing in the rain. This week I need some wind. So you may find that you're an elemental witch and you've got to have the wind, rain, fire, and water in your life, and then have that spirit. You may work with spirits of place. You may not. You may use deities. You may not. It is your practice. It is time for you to be your authentic self. And one thing I always like to tell everybody is you are your own spiritual guru. So find mentors, find teachers, take classes, take from as many people in the community as you can, read as many books as you can get on, do the practicality. So when you get a spell casting book, do several of the spells. Do those spells resonate with you? Do they work with you? There are a lot of different fabulous practices out there. And like I said, a ton of beautiful people in this community. So if you are new, welcome. We embrace you and love having you. If you've been here for a while and you've been struggling and you found this video to be helpful, I'm glad you at least found it. So as always, please feel free to message me, Triple Goddess Apothecary Reiki at gmail.com, or you can also even like message me through Triple Goddess Apothecary and Reiki, my website, or put a comment below, or this video will be posted on my Patreon page, and Patreon members do get it first. It will also be on YouTube and it will be on TikTok, so you can message me there too. But don't forget to give me a thumbs up or give me a heart if you like this video, and follow and subscribe so that I know you like this content and I can bring you more of it. So as always, blessed be and namaste, and stay safe out there, especially if you've been affected by the hurricane and the negative weather that hit. Mother Nature's just trying to clean things up. We just have to figure out how to work with her in tangent. So blessed be and namaste.